In this video, we're going over how to learn Linux because I get asked this question all the time. Where do you get all your knowledge? How did you learn all this stuff so quickly? Because I've only been on Linux desktop less than a year and already I'm gotten up pretty far along in my progression. Still have a long ways to go, but I feel like I have a really good grasp on things. So with that, I wanted to share with you all what all I do as far as learning Linux, what all the resources I actually take in, because most of the way I learn is hands-on. However, there's a lot of places you go for help, and I wanted to share that with you today. Okay, so down in the description, christitus.com/learn-linux is this website. So click that link, it'll redirect you to here, and you'll be able to kind of get these links. Now, I'm not going to go through every single link in here, like the websites. It's FOSS, Linux Uprising, and Linux Side. I might have said that wrong, but whatever. That one is all things that people gave me from my Discord channel, and I just kind of wanted to add those for web page references because they do a lot of average like daily posts and stuff, and it's FOSS, has a lot of great tutorial content. I've used Linux Uprising every once in a while, and this one I don't really use, but I left it in here because a lot of other people do find it educational. So with that, I wanted to go over some of the highlights of this. Now, I'm not going to click on each one. I just kind of want to show where I learned most of my knowledge. So first up is the Arch Wiki. Now, a lot of people go, I don't run Arch Linux, Titus. I'm like, I get it, totally get it. But the Arch Wiki is by far the best wiki out of anyone I've gone through. I've learned the most through here. When I went to install Arch Linux, I went through their installation guide, and it kind of laid out what the essentials were for every Linux distribution. Like, sometimes the syntax differs from distribution to distribution, but for the most part, that's where I got my whole saying, Linux is Linux, because I learned so much in Arch Linux and was able to take that and use it in Ubuntu and Debian and a lot of other things. The only thing that was different was really the package manager and a couple little syntax differences between the two. But other than that, I mean, the distros have so much in common when I started really diving in, and Arch Linux kind of taught me what makes up a distribution and how it is actually made, the things that every single distribution does. All these things are in here. So really, really good reading. And if you haven't, I always recommend, if you really want to dive into this deep content, try an Arch Linux vanilla install. You learn a lot doing it. It's very educational when doing it. Some people, it drives them mad and it's not for them. Totally get it. But I did learn probably the most amount going through the Arch Wiki. Up next is the Ubuntu Wiki. Now, I don't really use the Ubuntu Wiki that much, but anytime I've had an issue, I might pop on the Ubuntu Wiki every once in a while and figure out what issue it was. More often than not, I like to defer to the Ubuntu forums because a lot of the stuff they have, Ubuntu's community, even though I don't like Ubuntu as a distribution so much, I love their community. They've done so much to help everyone, and it's rather organized, so it's very easy to get help through the Ubuntu Wiki and also the Ubuntu forums. If you need to actually ask a question, they're very receptive. So with that, I'm not going to go through the other wikis, as if you're on these operating systems, I just wanted to kind of put those out there. If you're not on OpenSUSE or Fedora, you probably don't want to go to these wikis. But if you are, there's some really good stuff there specific to them. Overall, I think the Debian wiki is another one that I don't think really gets enough credit. So on here, it has a really good layout, how to install softwares, package management. All these apply to Ubuntu and all the spins of Ubuntu as well, you know, Kubuntu, Pop! OS, all this is based on Debian. So this is a really good place to learn about a lot about Linux. So I really do like the Debian manuals, and Wikipedia is fantastic when it comes to Debian. Other places, like let's say you run in, I kind of labeled this help because live help is what you need. At the end of the day, when you run into a problem, you don't want to go read the manual or read the effing manual, as many people put it in forums. So I kind of laid out spots where you can easily do searches and just simply ask a question. So first up is the Chris Titus Tech Discord. We actually have over almost 2,000 members now. So thousands of people are on here day in and day out. Right now, we have somewhere around 131 online, and there's also more up here as well. But if you go into here, over on the left-hand side, you'll see Help Desk, and you can ask general help. Heck, even if you have a Windows issue, you can pop it into the Windows thing and not get ridiculed. It's just there to help. Even Mac help and Linux help. All of it's right here to kind of help in computer needs, and it's very active. As you see, like today, we got Windows help. Someone actually asked a question about debloat script and ONO shutup, which I've covered a little bit in my channel. Linux help, usually there's a lot. Like it's 9:50 right here. The last question that was asked, it was at 9:39, so literally 11 minutes ago. Mac help, not nearly as active, obviously. Not too many people that are on Mac watch my stuff, so I could see how that's kind of empty. And then just general help where people just say, hey, what kind of thermal paste am I going to use for computer builds and these types of things. So very nice to get that live interaction. I'd say forums are good, but it's not that immediate gratification where if you get into chat, that's why I love the Discord. And we have a fantastic Discord. Fedora also have a Discord. I put that in here. I haven't actually joined it or done anything with it, but I've heard good things. Other things for noobs is Linux for Noobs. It's a Reddit subreddit, and if you're not familiar with Reddit, it's like forums on steroids is the best probably way to put it. But good way to come into here, change this up. I like to go with this view, but you can kind of see what people are asking, and you can ask your own question. Usually it's responded in a decent amount of time, like 1 hour ago, 2 hours ago, 17 hours ago. This is pretty good. We also have a Chris Titus Tech subreddit that's not as active. That's why I'm kind of showing Linux for Noobs, because I haven't been active on that subreddit. I just don't have the time anymore to really do much with it. So I kind of have it there. I still pop in from time to time, but it's not nearly as good as Linux for Noobs is. And then we get into like the video aspect of things. And I kind of want to show a couple things on the video. First off, I have a tutorials playlist, which is actually a link that I put into here. If you look at this tutorials playlist, it kind of has a little bit of everything. So if you're looking for a specific thing, or just want to peruse tutorial videos, like I make videos all the time, some about news, some about this, but I don't put those in my tutorial playlist because I want to put all my educational content in one spot. So moving past this, let's say you have something you want to know about. You can actually go to the actual channel, which if you go up at the top and just type youtube.com/c/Chris Titus Tech. Just like that, hit enter, and this takes you to the channel page. Now, I wanted to show other YouTubers here, but nobody really organizes their videos very well. So if Tom from Switch to Linux looks at this, or Derek from DT, if he looks at this as well, guys, you got to go into your channel page and organize. I think I get a lot of views from here. I don't know, but regardless, for you watching this video, get to my actual video channel page, and I have everything organized into what popular uploads, things that got the most views on my channel, which isn't that big of a deal. But the cool thing is I put Windows playlists and Linux playlists, and these are like playlists within playlists, to where it kind of breaks down and organizes everything depending on where you're at in your journey. So if you're on Fedora, Ubuntu, Debian, you can kind of see all those videos. And then also I have kind of all of these broken up so you can kind of get in where you want. Now, I still like the tutorial videos as I went over, and you can actually click this little search thing and just search my channel for certain things. Let's say you wanted to know Grub videos. What have I done on Grub? And I've actually made quite a few videos on Grub. So I've done rescue Grub, custom Grub, UEFI versus BIOS boot, and also, heck, it even pulls into like Windows Boot Manager and other stuff. It gets a little less as you fly through here, but the search feature is really good as it pulls in all the things directly with that search, which is extremely powerful when wanting to learn through video content. And I've made every single video on my channel within the past year, so everything's relevant. There's nothing that's out of date on my channel because I've made almost 400 videos now in the past year. So kind of insane. I really probably should get my head checked for making that many videos. But needless to say, you can come into here, kind of peruse the videos and find what you need. However, I always want to kind of show people how I learned through video as well. And one of the very first people, and he's actually has his own YouTube channel as well, is called the Urban Penguin. The very first Linux video I watched was the Urban Penguin. So shout out to him. If he ever sees this, you're awesome, sir. What you do is a fantastic thing. His website, theurbanpenguin.com, has these OS tutorials over here. And at the time, I was doing a lot of asterisk and telephony support, so I needed to learn Red Hat and CentOS. And if you click here to access, it makes it sound like he's it's paid, but it's not. Everything's free on here, which is kind of nuts. I'm surprised he hadn't locked it behind some kind of paywall, but he doesn't. He gives it all away for free, which is fantastic. So you can kind of go, oh, you know what? I want to learn about creating an RPM file in CentOS 6.5. And you can click it, and it'll take you right here and kind of give you the guide, the whole web page. And then at the very end, he usually has the actual video walkthrough. So Urban Penguin, he is a fantastic gentleman, English gentleman, and that is just, fantastic. I like his videos, honestly, a lot better than mine in some instances because of the depth he goes into in each one of these subjects and really tackles things in a different manner than I do. So he's almost like the yin to my yang. He's awesome. Love this guy. And that's about it. I'm going to be expanding this. Look in the comment section below here. You can actually, if I forgot something, you can come down here, leave a comment, or leave a comment on this video. I'm going to be definitely checking my YouTube comments just sometimes after about a week or two. It just completely gets blown out and it's like 1,000 comments and I just don't have the time to go through all my old comments. So I'll keep up with this video and definitely add to this webpage for the first couple days. But if you're watching this video a couple weeks from now and you're like, oh, Titus, you forgot this. You got to add this to this page. I'll be like, totally, come on my website, leave a comment in here, and I will definitely get it added. So that's basically it when it comes to learning Linux. Now, there's a lot more resources out there, a lot of things that I honestly have forgotten about or didn't include in here because I didn't use them, but other people have. So let me know in the comments what those are. Also, the comments on the actual website, christitus.com, for this Learn Linux repository or this page to kind of index a lot of this stuff. I'm going to be adding to it as I find more and more good stuff. The only requirement I have is it has to be tutorial based. I don't do news articles and stuff to add it to this, and I want it to be educational, so all tutorial based stuff that is simple to digest. Also, no really heavy ad based content. Occasional ad sprinkled in an article, sure, just nothing over the top. So with all that, a big shout out to my patrons. Without you, I couldn't make videos like this one, and I'll see you in the next one.